Greetings, seekers of the word. As you know, my teachings are not tied to any particular existing faith. But lately, I've been giving a great deal of thought to the subject of God. Not whether or not God exists, no, that's another matter altogether. No, I've been pondering a very important question about God that people on the compound who believe in God have been asking. The question is God a man or a woman? Now, why the sudden interest in God's gender? Well, the path of common sense is different for everyone. Some find it in the face of a wild animal, or a cup of coffee. In this case, the path of common sense led a group of us to a mushroom patch behind the septic tank on the compound, and let's just say things began to get very existential. So, is God a man or a woman? The answer is yes and no. Neither and both. Confusing? Not really. Not if you apply common sense. You see, everyone who believes in one God argues over just about everything about God, from how to pray to how to play. But they tend to agree on one thing. If there is one true God, God is an all-powerful, limitless entity who created all things through sheer force of will. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but that's the gist. Now, since the primary purpose of gender is procreation, an all-powerful being who can create life from nothing has no need for a gender. In fact, the suggestion that God has a gender is a suggestion that God is limited to being male or female. And I think we can all agree that to suggest God's power is limited is blasphemy, pure and simple. For example, if you insist that God is a man as we are traditionally taught, it must follow that God has a penis, and therefore a purpose for that penis. But God doesn't need a penis to create life, because God creates life through sheer force of will, as we have discussed. But to suggest God has something he doesn't need implies God is imperfect. Once again, blasphemy. But then to suggest God has a use for a penis implies God may need that to create life or urinate. This undermines the idea that God is all-powerful and can create or eliminate anything through sheer force of will. Blasphemy again! So where does that leave us? Common sense says, if God is limitless and all-powerful, then it stands to reason that God is whatever God chooses to be at any given time. A man, a woman, a burning bush, anything or nothing at all at once. Now, I'm not saying that I know the true face of God. What I am saying is, anyone who claims they do presumes too much. Awaken.